So, my dad and I shared a name, Willem. I was always proud of that, even though people in the United States would say, "Don't you mean William?" And I was like, "No, I think I know my name." But I also shared other characteristics with my dad. One is we could lose car keys very easily. We were often late for things. And we had strong feelings about his singing, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I wanted to take just a few minutes and first thank Gerhard and Kathy. My parents have lived in this community for a long time, and just yesterday it really came to me that it took a whole community to really take care of my parents, leading the way Gerhard and Kathy. But it was really a community that took care of itself and shared their lives, in many different ways, in small ways and big ways. So thank you very much from the family who's living 1,000 miles away. Parents are puzzling. The only more puzzling people are children. So I'm going to tell 3 stories of me trying to puzzle out my dad and sort of figure him out. One was when I was a really young boy, and I think I might have been 4 or 5. And I was a mama's boy. My mom was sort of my world. My dad worked really hard. He worked early, long hours, and worked hard from the ages when I was 2 to 8. So didn't know him sort of that way so well. But anyway, we found this roller skate in the neighborhood, an old-fashioned roller skate, with a key, and just one. And I was like, this is a good idea. I'm going to put it on my foot and tighten it up, and I'm going to skateboard. Man, I went 2 steps and boom, boom, right on my elbow, and it's bloody and messed up. And I run home, and I realize my dad's the only one home. I'm like, I don't think this guy can do this. I don't think he's about fixing kids, and it was fine. He did it that day. And it was always a puzzle because I didn't think he could do it, and he could do it. And he showed that he could do that throughout his life, care for other people. My mom was sick for a long time, and he was there for her in a lot of different ways, and he showed that compassion. So, so it was a puzzle that way, a puzzle that was solved for me in a way. He loved language and humor, and sometimes those wove together. So, bear with me, but my dad has this habit of asking people to say Dutch words. Right? Anybody have that experience? There's a Dutch word for onion. And the way you say that is uien. I think I'm saying that right. Even if I am, you don't know if I am. Well, you do. You're right, brother. You'll cut me some slack. So, uien. I'd like you all to try to say uien. Well, in that, I'm going to do it in true Wim deBock fashion. You need to say it again. Perfect. Thank you. That was my dad. My dad would do things like that, and he would sort of quiz you on that, and it would drive me crazy. Because I'm like, or I'd say it wrong or whatever. But he found humor in that. I studied sociology at Brandeis University. My dad was always trying to figure out what I did, and so with a gleam in his eye, he would say, "Now, are you a sociologist or a socialist?" And I'm from Vermont, so that's actually an apt question, I have to say. But there was always that gleam in his eye. He knew when he was being funny. He knew when he had his funny on, and I really appreciate that more now that I'm grown up. His life was full of song. He was full of song. He was like a human karaoke machine, and the song would just overflow him, and he would start singing all the time. And at one point in my life, I was a teenager, and my dad would sing opera in the kitchen, and I was like, oh, man, he's singing again, you know. I don't think my friends' dads sing opera in the kitchen, you know, and it was very, very sort of intense for me. And in fact, there was a point in time where he didn't really know all the words to the song, so he would kind of fake it, you know, like, oh, sole mio, da 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 da. And I was like, Pop, you got to learn the words, you know, let's learn the words. So I went to the library and Xeroxed the words to these operettas, and he would sing them. And when we came out here, and we've been staying at their house, the first thing I did was look through old tapes, or listen to old tapes of trying to find my dad singing. You know, that singing that caused me so much consternation as a truculent teenager was something that I craved sort of to hear when we came to visit. And I did find a tape of him singing a little bit, and I'm going to try to play it here. So I think he would like it. You know, I think he would like that. So we're gonna hope for the best here.
Ist mein ganzen Tag, wo du nicht bist, kann ich nicht sein. So wie die Blume wächst, wenn die nicht küsst, Sonnenschein. Nein, ist mein einziges Glück, wird dich herauf von der Blüte erblüht. Sag mir noch einmal mein einziges Lied, oh, sag noch einmal mir dich hab ich lieb.
That was fun. I was trying to we have pictures where he has his singing pose, and I tried to figure out how to do it, but I couldn't, so we won't. My dad had a saying. He said, "Mensa sal leka," and that means people will live. And I was trying to figure out what the correct translation for that is. First thing I thought of was, it kind of means don't tread on me. And that kind of fits with Opa. You know, he always lived his life. But that's not quite right. It also kind of means live and let live. You know, people will live their lives and let people live their lives and enjoy sort of the diversity and the marvelousness that is each and every one of our lives. But it's also, I think, personal. It also means something personal, which is, you know, live your life. Live your life to the fullest, and you know, sing that opera, you know, when you're doing the dishes, and especially to the grandkids, you know, Ben, Rebecca, Matthew, Corey, my own kids, Corey, Aaron, Morgan, and Forrest. That's what Opa would want you to do. He would want you to live your life, you know, the way that you're meant to. And live it fully, live it boldly, and sing the songs that you need to sing. Thank you.